It's the Terrible at Fishing radio show on Gold Country Radio. Here's your fishing expert and host, Michael Ruffino.
Welcome back to Terrible at Fishing, everybody. We are going to talk about, we're going to talk about fishing, of course, but man, the weather's been beautiful. Stocking has been aggressive, and I'm sorry about last week. I was out of town, so you heard a repeat of one of my older shows. But we do want to talk about the second segment of today's show. We're going to go over the stocking schedules. So that's really, really important. So stay tuned, because as we talk about the stocking schedules, you want to really tune in to those legal size. The legal size will bring up the big giant fish, and you want to catch those. You don't want to catch the legals. You want to catch what's eating the legals. You know, it's got to be a pretty big fish to be swallowing an 8 to 10 inch rainbow trout, right? So you need to stay tuned for that. This coming up is going to be my favorite event of the year, and it's on June 7th. So not this weekend, but the following weekend, on June 7th at Lake of the Woods. This is a free fishing weekend, June 7th and 8th. So that's a big deal. You don't need a license. You could use more than one rod. You could just have fun. Take the family to the lake, to the river, any body of water, and just have a good time. And we'll talk about some really good spots so you can get the kids to catch fish. But I guarantee you the kids will be catching a fish at Lake of the Woods starting at 9 a.m. on June 7th. What we do, we have two different areas that we stock heavily with fish. Trophy size too, big fish. And one is for the 6 and under, and those that are challenged in many different ways. Anyway, those children are going to have a separate area, and we'll have people there with nets, and mom and dad can help them. We have all the fishing supplies. I mean, they're going to be catching a big old fish. And then we're going to net off part of the marina, and we're going to throw a bunch of other fish down there. So all those children over 6 years of age and are, healthy, they can go fish that area. And this is a family event. So the Boy Scouts are usually there. They'll clean the fish for them. We have a group in order to cook the fish. So you can actually catch a fish and eat it that morning. That day. This is the happiest day of the year that you will see children. A memory will be created by them on you, and then by them on them. We'll see 2 and 3 year olds catch fish. They probably won't remember it. Long-term memory hasn't really kicked in yet on 2 and 3 year olds, but if they do, it'll be their first memory. So this is an extremely fun event. So what do we do now? Okay, what do we do now? So I would suggest going small. So all your baits, you're going to go small. Now, I'm a hard bait type of guy. I like fishing hard bait. So my little itty bitty 1.5 inch baits that dive anywhere from 2 feet down to 6 feet, maybe even a little deeper, so I can bounce it off the rocks on the bottom. And, big lip, hard baits, these real big lips, they do dive deep, but you really don't want them to swim freely through the water. You want them to go down and hit the bottom and bounce off the bottom of the lake or a river. And that gets fish's attention. So fish actually make a clicking sound when they talk, and all fish do this. And you'll find that hard baits have rattles, and rattles, different frequencies will get the fish's attention. Now, fish typically will hit when they're hungry or when they're threatened. So those are the two reasons fish like to, you'll get a fish on hook. So if they're hungry, you're going to feed them during feeding times. I've covered this before. So first thing in the morning, late in the afternoon. Those are their feeding times. When will they hit a threat? All day long. This is why I enjoy hard baits. Hard baits, which I do make, I paint these by hand, and then I coat them and fit them and stuff like that. Hard baits will shake violently, and they'll make this rattling sound like a castanet. Some are silent, some are not. Most are not. But they have basically little BBs in them. And inside the chambers, and I have some, I have some that have metal chambers, and some are plastic chambers, and some are wood chambers. And because of the resonance of those different elements, and whether they have one or more BB in them, they're going to create different sonic sounds. Now, you'll find that all fish will respond to sonic sounds. They'll be curious, or they'll be aggressive against it because it's a noise coming at them. It's kind of like, if you saw a screaming person coming at you, defenses go up and you're in a protect mode, or you just run away. All depends on the type of person you are. This time of year, they're spawning, so they're protecting their nest. Now, if you're any decent person, you're going to be protecting your children. So, when you run these things through the water, and this thing is coming at them, shaking violently, and they're protecting their bed where their young are, or they haven't hatched, or they have hatched, they will attack a hard bait. They will, and they'll do it all day long. Now, mind you, they'll do it more in the morning and late in the afternoon, but again, you're triggering an instinct. You're triggering it. Now, the neat thing about a reaction strike, a protective strike, an aggressive strike, is that it's more violent. A feeding strike, let's say we put a fish on a worm, a worm on a hook, and the fish goes ahead and starts nibbling at it. And it takes a little bit off, and there's a little, basically it's, eating around the edges before it gets to the hook. Or it just bites the whole thing. But you'll find that panfish will go ahead and just sort of eat it from the ends forward. So they're not, the bite on food, let's say power bait or a worm, is softer. So when you're feeding them food, it's a soft hit. But if you're fishing, if you're threatening them, it's a more violent hit. And so when they hit it, they're attacking it because they want to kill it, and they're trying to protect themselves or those things or their family around them. Hopefully, you understand. There are two ways of fishing. Feed them, attack them. So that's really what you're going to be doing. And this time of year, I attack. I just attack. When they stock lakes, the fish are, thousands of fish are thrown into the lake, and they're in shock. And they don't know what to do, but they're not hungry. They're not going to think, oh, it's time to eat. No, that's not what they do. They literally are in shock. Some of them die. And so when you throw a spinner in the water, spinners actually will create a flash and something that they didn't see at the fishery, and they'll attack it. Blue fox spinners has a little bell and a chamber in them, And Blue Fox spinners, which is one of my favorite spinners, unless I make one, and I do make spinners just because it's a lot cheaper, they actually make a sonic noise. And that noise threatens the trout or bass or whatever else wants to hit it. So noise, when I was growing up, you always go to the fisher, you try to approach a fisherman, you're always told to be really quiet, be very quiet. I'm hunting wabbit. But, I go fishing, I find that I do pretty good when I'm playing, the 70s rock and rolls, get a little Doobie Brothers on, bam, catch a bass. Get a little Eagles on, boom, get yourself a smallie, stuff like that. Maybe I fish quiet. I fish with music, or listening to an audiobook or something like that. I catch fish. I catch fish. It's just, maybe you guys will disagree with me. Some people say, ooh, the fish saw you. Don't let them see you. I don't think that makes much of a difference if you don't disturb the waters or anything. Sight fishing is common. Standing up on my boat and then casting out when I see a fish and hooking it. I do that all the time. If I can see the fish, he can see me. Okay? It's just the way it is. So maybe some of these are wives' tales. Or maybe a fisherman just doesn't want to hear you talk. That could be. I probably get that more often than any of you. But that's the fun part. When we go fishing, I want you to enjoy it. We got a free fishing weekend in a week. A free fishing weekend is for everybody. You go down to Yawana or Veterans Park, throw it out there. Go to the Link River, throw it out there. Go to Upper Klamath over at Moore Park. They got a little fishing dock there. Just toss it out there with the kids. Bring some soda pop and some sandwiches and some snacks for everybody. To be honest, spending a day with your children in the outdoors, or your family, or your loved one, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, I don't know. It's everything. Sit down and, there was this, I like bird watching. There was this event that happened. I don't know if they're still doing it every year. It's called the Big Sit. And basically, you pick an area and you sit there. And for 24 hours, you can camp there if you want, if they allow it. And you have to log all the different birds that you hear and see. And the competition is nationally, and who saw the most birds. Now, wetlands and stuff like that. We've got the best big sit areas. But you sit there and you just take it in. Fishing is the same way. Fishing is you sit there and you take it in, and once in a while they take what you got to give them. It is this is what we live for. When it comes to mankind was put on this earth to take care of the earth and to observe and to enjoy. And that's, when you think about it, anything, deep, this is what we do. This is our job, to sit, listen, and take care of the things around us. And it is our purpose. And if you don't go outdoors, you're missing your purpose in life. So this next weekend, I would encourage everybody who's hearing this, and for you to tell your friends, and to get groups together and go to Lake of the Woods. It is an absolutely free event. Whether you got kids or not, you could sit there and watch, the children, little ones, and those with Down syndrome, those that are autistic, those that are paraplegic or whatever. It just... it'll give you the biggest smile of the year. Take me up on this. All right, we're going to take a break right now, and we're going to cover the stocking report in the next segment. So stay tuned.
The Terrible at Fishing Radio Show. Michael's got the secrets, and now you know. Can't lie, you cast just fine. Gold Country Radio.
In the year 3047 on Space Station Delta 9, one man dared to launch a burger joint in the void of space.
I opened Galactic Grill, flame-broiled bliss in zero gravity. But nobody knows we're here. Not even the guy from Maintenance Deck C, and he lives next door.
Enter Commander Jenny of the Gold Country Radio Marketing Federation.
Captain, you need to partner with Gold Country Radio.
Radio? I thought that was ancient Earth tech, like flip phones and salad.
Wrong again, Space Cowboy. Radio still works, even now. When you team up with Gold Country Radio, you don't just get heard on air. You get promoted online, too. They'll plug your business on social media and even put your logo on goldcountryradio.org. Yeah, that website they're always hyping on air.
Promotional power activated.
So I did it, partnered with Gold Country Radio. And now, the lunch line goes out the airlock. We've got orders from 5 decks up. Even the commander's ordering double bacon asteroids.
I told you, Gold Country Radio. Timeless, effective, and totally space safe.
Want your business to take off? Visit goldcountryradio.org and click Contact to get started. Gold Country Radio. Low cost, high yield, and still light years ahead.
Out in the backwoods under the stars, I tune in the radio from my old car. Gold Country Radio on Friday night. Terrible at fishing, but it feels just right.
All right, welcome back to Terrible at Fishing. Now, first I'll give you a little bit of news about me. I'm restricted from driving. You probably heard that, and because of my neurological situation is well, the thing about neurology, it's unpredictable. It just is. I mean, I could be fine and then wake up on the floor and then wonder how I got there. So, because of that, I can't drive. But the passion to fish is still in me. I mean, I am working very, very hard to figure a way out that I can fish and have a little freedom. So I'm working my channel and trying to get, the radio show, this and that. Just see if I can figure out a way to do this. And I'm thinking like an e-trike or something like that to get me, and work the area around my house. I mean, I've got 2 lakes and a river right next to my house. And then a little farther up, I've got a few more rivers. I mean, to be honest, that's why I moved here. So we're going to go to my YouTube channel, Terrible at Fishing, for some updates on this, because as I venture out around Klamath Falls, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be an adventure, truly an adventure. So I'm really kind of excited about it, mad at the same time. Really am not very happy about I haven't been grounded since I was a child. But to be honest, I was grounded for life many times, and I guess it finally caught up to me. Although Mom's dead, so she would never know. All right, let's go look at a few lakes. Stocking schedules. Let's look at Fish Lake, all right? We know that this next week, Lake of the Woods is going to get their stock. And we know when they're getting their stock, too. They're going to be getting their stock on Friday. We're going to put them in those holding areas. Now, after the fishing event for the kids, what they didn't catch is going to be released into the lake late Saturday. So, just heads up. Lake of the Woods will have fresh stock for everybody late Saturday. Fish Lake this last week got 3,500 legals. So that's great, right? And then this next week, they're going to get 2,250 legals. Now, the great thing about this is the bigger fish are going to be eating them up. Those tiger trout that you're not allowed to keep, they're hitting these guys. So really a fun time over at Fish Lake. They've got plenty of action in their waters. So So we're going to, now let's go to Lost Creek Reservoir. So Lost Creek Reservoir is a big fishery. And, well, let's not go there because they're not getting anything. Let's check Willow Lake. Now, come on. No. Sometimes, you know what Willow Lake is called? Something different. Let's see. They're called something different. I gotta remember that. I just gotta remember that. Phillips Reservoir is going to have 9,500 legals. Just this last week, they got 9,500 legals tossed into them. So, great time. That's southeast. I want southwest. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. We're working it. All right, there's Fish Lake. Hyatt Reservoir. They just got 7,450 legals put in there. Hyatt's going to be rocking it. So that's, nice lake too. Really nice lake, Hyatt. Not very far from town either. We don't want that. No, I don't want that. Medco Pond. If you've never done Medco Pond, it's a cute, easy water body to catch fish. They just got 2,000 legals dumped into Medco Pond. So really good for the kids. So that's a good one. Let's see what else. We're going to have to Lost Lake, Clear Lake. Clear Lake's a little farther away. It's a little farther away. I'm going through them right now. I'm going to type in Gerber. Come on. No Gerber, huh? Willow Valley? Willow Creek Reservoir. Oh, that's it. That's Willow Lake. Formerly Willow Creek Reservoir. So, yeah, I just got to remember that they renamed it. Let's see. We're going to go a little farther out. Let's see if they're getting anything in the next couple weeks. They are not getting anything in the next couple weeks. So, c'est la vie. Let's see. We're just... Come on. We gotta get... Okay, let's go to Thompson Reservoir. Let's see what they're getting. These guys have gotten a ton of stock recently, and you just gotta go up to these places and just, have at it. So, all right, they're not doing a lot of stock in this, but the waters are warming up. With warm temperature, the water's warming up. And with warm water, fish become more aggressive and more active. The inversions have happened. Believe it or not, the inversions, if they haven't happened, they're happening. What an inversion is where the cold water and the warm water trade places. And what happens when that happens is that they mix. Okay, cold and warm water mix, and it confuses the fish. So sometimes it's harder to catch fish, but when you catch fish, it could be anything. It can be anything. But the bass are warm water fish, so they're coming up, and they've come up. One of the best places to catch bass and panfish is over in Bonanza, right? Excuse me, at the Springs Park. because those are warm water springs. Water 75 degrees or better. And you can catch a lot of fish right there at the springs part. Lots of good little spots, little bridges, little this and that's over there. A lot of mud. You will sink a bit. But it's beautiful right now. Gerber is hitting really well on pan fishing. Do not forget to go over to Emigrants Lake. Emigrants Lake is another really good lake for crappie fishing, and I'm a big crappie lover. Again, small jigs, a little bit of power bait on it, boom, drop it down, and 1 minute you'll be pulling them up. It's just such an easy thing to get, and they are very tasty, and they're very big at Emigrant Lake. And so same thing over at Gerber. Gerber got a lot of the stock from Topsy, and was taken over there. So they got some fresh breeding stock of bluegills and other things, and big bass. So again, this is the best fishing year we've ever had. Again, one of the worst things that can happen to me is being grounded. So I'm working on it. And I did have some people volunteer to take me fishing, but I've been out of town. I've been kind of sick. But if you're a fisherman, you still want a little bit of freedom. Sometimes I wake up and I think, God, I want to go fishing, and you usually jump in your truck and you just go. So maybe I can jump on my bike and go. It's just what you want to do that day or that morning. You feel sorry for me yet? No, you probably don't. I'm driving my wife crazy, that's for sure. But we'll figure it out. Figuring it out is challenging. I was going to say it's half the fun. It's not. All the fun is when you get out there and fish. But I had a great weekend last week. Went to a little town called Silverton. You guys know where Silverton is? It's over by Salem. And Silverton is one of the cutest little towns. Beautiful town. And I just, spent the weekend there. Wow. I mean, how many cute little towns does Oregon have? I'll bet you there's hundreds of them. And Silverton is one of those cute little towns that you can go see some waterfalls, see some beautiful manicured gardens, old houses that look like museums, great food, tons of great eat. We went to a place, I just picked it off of a map, but it was next to a Safeway. It's called Ixtapa. It's a Mexican restaurant in the mall, or in that strip mall. Best Mexican food. Really, my children went on and on and on about how good the food was. I had octopus. I love octopus. Really, I mean, go to Silverton, check it out. But we're going to be. I'm going to be exploring around this area, and we're get up into the woods, the Williamsons. The Upper Klamath, of course, and I've never caught anything in Uwana. There's got to be something in there. There's got to be something in there. It's 3 blocks away. I mean, got to be able to get something in it. Link River, it's 3 blocks away. It's right there. We'll get out there and we'll see what we can catch and tell you how I caught it. We'll do some live broadcasts. Oh, excuse me. I'm drinking 7-Up. And 7-Up makes you burp. I'm trying not to burp. I love 7-Up. This is 7-Up Zero. That means I can drink as much as I want and not get fatter. Although I'm getting fatter. So we're going to be doing some lives on Terrible at Fishing. And with those lives, we're going to, you'll be able to see where and how I'll be catching these, and then I'll review it, of course, here on the radio show. I was going to say something. Don't you hate it when you had something in your head and it went right out of it? I guess that's what kind of brain I got. Nothing wants to stay in there. But I'm enjoying meeting some of the new residents or some of the residents of Klamath Falls. I walked down to downtown, sat down with a few guys, just met them. They were talking fishing, introduced myself. And it's just, we live in a great community. I just want you to know that. You're listening to a community radio station, which gives voices to people that normally would never have a voice. I was going to say thank you to all my subscribers on Terrible at Fishing on YouTube. We surpassed 2,000, and now, we got some momentum. We seem to be going past 2,000 now, and I'll figure out what to give away. So there'll be a giveaway on Terrible at Fishing on YouTube, and I've got a lot of stuff ready stock, and we'll see what we can do. And give something away to a viewer and a listener, and hopefully somebody locally wins it. I've always wanted somebody locally winning it. I mean, one time I sent a rod and reel to Maine. I sent a bunch of baits to England once. That's expensive, by the way. But I want to thank all of you for listening, for tuning in, for supporting community radio. And you will see me locally, if you just look around Veterans Park and Moore Park in that area, hopefully on my new little e-trike, whatever that may be. And we'll see you around. Take care, everybody, and tight lines to you all.
That was Terrible at Fishing, the radio show, with fishing expert Michael Ruffino. Check out Terrible at Fishing on YouTube. And tune in next week for the next episode and more great fishing tips. Terrible at Fishing, Fridays at 7 p.m. on Gold Country Radio.